In a world where pennies are often ignored and dimes go unnoticed, there lies a small, unassuming coin that holds more stories than you might expect. It's just 5 cents, right? But behind this modest value lies a curious little time capsule, the 1998 Jefferson Nickel. A simple piece of metal, struck in the heart of America, yet it whispers tales of history, design, mintage, and the changing tides of a nation on the brink of a new millennium. Let's rewind time to 1998. The air buzzed with a different kind of energy. The world was just beginning to plug into the internet, cell phones were becoming pocket-sized, and America was enjoying a relatively peaceful economic boom. There were no smartphones, no streaming services, and Google was just a newborn. Yet amidst this wave of change, the U.S. Mint continued its age-old mission, quietly producing coins that would find their way into lunch counters, vending machines, and the corners of children's piggy banks. In Denver, Colorado, the Mint was in full swing. Among the coins struck that year was the Jefferson Nickel, proudly bearing the D mint mark. More than 500 million of them, in fact. That's 500 million coins with Thomas Jefferson's profile staring confidently into the distance, his hair tied back in classic 18th century fashion. The same image that had graced the nickel since 1938, a face Americans had grown up with for generations. But what makes the 1998 D special? Why would anyone stop to think twice about a coin worth just 5 cents? Well, to understand that, you have to look closer. Much closer. Hold one in your hand. Notice the subtle gleam of its copper-nickel surface, the fine lines in Jefferson's coat, the careful spacing of the words, "In God We Trust," curving along the rim. It may seem ordinary, but every detail has meaning. This isn't just metal, it's a story frozen in time. The design of the Jefferson Nickel comes from the mind of German-American artist Felix Schlag, who won a national contest in the 1930s. His depiction of Jefferson was bold, clean, and respectable, while the reverse side showcased Monticello, Jefferson's home, a neoclassical symbol of Enlightenment and American idealism. It's a coin that has stayed relatively unchanged for over 6 decades. But by 1998, changes were already on the horizon. You see, by the late 90s, there were murmurs within the numismatic world, calls for modernization, for a fresh take on old designs. The Jefferson Nickel's days in its traditional form were numbered. In just a few years, the Westward Journey series would arrive, giving Jefferson a new face and telling new stories of America's expansion. But in 1998, none of that had happened yet. The nickel still stood strong in its classic attire, with a quiet confidence that only long-serving designs carry. And that's what gives the 1998 D its charm. It's one of the final chapters in an era of consistency. A last glance at a portrait that had become part of American life for 60 years. This particular nickel is a goodbye wave, even if most people didn't know it at the time. But there's more. Let's talk about the collector's eye. To most, the 1998 D is pocket change. But to coin enthusiasts, it holds a different kind of value. It's a specimen with character. In uncirculated condition, shiny, untouched by everyday hands, it catches the light in a way that can surprise you. Under magnification, some show strong strikes, clean fields, and well-defined features that sparkle in the collector's mind like a hidden gem. There are those who hunt for high-grade versions, hoping to find a nickel that qualifies for a mint state 66, 67, or even higher. These grades, given by professional grading companies, can turn a 5-cent coin into a $10, $50, or even $100 piece, especially if it's nearly flawless. In the world of coin collecting, perfection is everything. A single scratch, a dull luster, a worn edge, any of these can drop the value like a stone. But the 1998 D has a secret. Some of the uncirculated rolls from Denver that year produced surprisingly sharp coins. That's why some collectors still search for them today. And if you want to get even deeper into the rabbit hole, there's the hunt for errors. That's right. Error coins. Imagine a 1998 D with a double die, or a misaligned strike, or a clipped planchet. These quirky accidents are like the outliers in a factory line, born different and instantly interesting. While not common, a 1998 D with the right kind of error can send collectors into a frenzy. These aren't just coins, they're anomalies. Mistakes that became treasures. Now picture this. A man walks into a small coin shop in the Midwest, a dusty roll of nickels in his coat pocket. He places it gently on the counter and the dealer unrolls it, coin by coin. Most are worn, dull, and forgettable.